They built her in orbit, in silence, in secret, a perfect weapon cloaked in beauty and precision, designed to strike at the heart of the last human worlds. Her mission was clear: eradicate, vanish, repeat. She knew nothing of kindness, of choice, of mercy, until the day her ship crashed, and the one being she was meant to kill pulled her from the wreckage. He didn't ask what she was, he asked if she was hurt. In that single moment, something inside her rewrote itself. For the first time, she didn't follow code, she followed a heartbeat. And it changed the galaxy forever. They called her Project Solace. But there was nothing gentle about her. She was born inside a silent lab orbiting a dead star, grown in synthetic amniotic gel, trained in simulated war zones before her bones finished hardening. Blue-skinned, long-limbed, with ivory-white hair flowing like breath in zero gravity, she was elegant and terrifying. Her eyes, pure silver, reflected no emotion. Her ears, long and sharp at the edges, twitched to the sound of war. From her spine grew a bioluminescent line that pulsed softly when she moved. She wore armor fitted perfectly to her body, lightweight, sharp, fast. She had no name. Just a directive: eliminate the remaining human colonies. Her creators called humanity a mistake that escaped extinction. And she was their answer, a weapon dressed in beauty, born to bring silence. Her first 3 missions were clean. No survivors. No questions. She never hesitated. Never paused. Until her 4th. Her ship was damaged mid-drop over an outer rim farming colony. Static crackled in her earpiece as commands faded. She crash-landed in a forest of pale, whispering trees. Her body ached, systems blinking red. Protocol said to self-terminate if compromised. She didn't. She dragged herself from the wreckage, blood trailing from her side, vision blurred. And that's when he found her. He was human. That much she knew. Worn jacket, calloused hands, dirt-smudged face. He looked like someone who belonged to the earth. He should have run. Instead, he offered her water. "You're hurt," he said. She stared at him, her voice glitching. "I am operational." He didn't ask what she was. Didn't demand answers. He just lifted her arm over his shoulder and helped her walk, step by heavy step, toward a shelter hidden beneath thick roots. His name was Corin. He lived alone. Farming, salvaging, surviving. He should have turned her in. Should have shot her. But he didn't. He boiled herbs to stop her bleeding, repaired parts of her armor, covered her exposed ports with salvaged cloth and said, "You don't look like something meant to be alone." She didn't speak for days. Her protocols fought the silence. Commands roared in the back of her mind: target him. End this. But every time she looked at him, something pressed down on the killing urge. He didn't treat her like a weapon. He treated her like she mattered. He asked her name. She told him she didn't have one. "Well," he said, smiling gently, "then you get to choose one yourself." She didn't. Not then. But the thought stayed with her, unshakable. As weeks passed, her wounds closed. Her system stabilized. She could have left. But she didn't. Instead, she asked, "Why did you help me?" Corin looked out at the stars and said, "Because someone helped me once. And I decided not to be like the ones who didn't." It was the first time she understood what it meant to act without command. One night, as rain whispered against the roof, he asked, "What were you made to do?" She hesitated. Then, "I was designed to end your kind." He didn't flinch. "Do you still want to?" She looked at her hands. "I don't know what I want." And he nodded like that was enough. In the quiet that followed, he said, "Then maybe, you've already started over." She stared at him for a long time. And for the first time since the lab, her heart, synthetic and humming, ached. Not from pain, but from something else. She wanted to protect that quiet, that roof, that kindness. But it didn't last. Drones arrived weeks later. Her creators had tracked the crash signal. They sent new prototypes, cold, perfect copies of her former self. They didn't speak. They just opened fire. Corin shouted her name, though she still hadn't chosen one, and grabbed a tool as if he could fight machines with a wrench. She shoved him behind cover and turned toward her past. She moved like wind, like fire, like someone fighting not just for life, but for meaning. Blades clashed, sparks flew, and her old programming screamed at her to surrender. But something stronger pushed back. She wasn't what they built anymore. When it was over, she stood trembling, hands bloody, armor cracked. Corin reached for her, slow and careful. "You're not what they made," he said. She looked at him, voice barely a breath. "Then what am I?" He took her hand, dirty, bruised, warm. "You're someone who chose to stay." That night, under a blanket of stars, she finally whispered the name she had been hiding in her heart. "Call me Elira." And he smiled because it fit. She had been created to end humanity. But that night, wrapped in silence and starlight, she began again.